This quarter looks damaged, scratched, and completely worthless, but some Washington quarters in bad condition have sold for millions of dollars. Stay with me, because one of these coins might be hiding in your pocket right now. First up, the Washington quarter 1965 is one of the most historically important and widely discussed coins in modern United States numismatics because it marks a major turning point in American coinage, transitioning from precious metal circulation coins to base metal-clad coins, and the 1965 issue in particular represents the first year that the Washington quarter was struck without silver, making it a symbol of economic change, inflation control, and evolving mint technology. The coin features the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington on the obverse, a design originally created by sculptor John Flanagan in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth, showing Washington with strong classical features, tied hair, and a dignified expression, surrounded by the inscriptions, "Liberty," at the top, "In God We Trust," to the left, and the date 1965 at the bottom, while the reverse displays a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings, clutching arrows that symbolize strength and readiness, with olive branches beneath representing peace, and the inscriptions, "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and "Quarter Dollar," all framed by a clean, balanced composition that remained unchanged for decades. What makes the 1965 quarter especially significant is its metal composition, as it was the first Washington quarter made of a copper-nickel-clad structure rather than 90% silver, consisting of an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin a total weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a reeded edge that, unlike silver quarters, shows a visible copper stripe when worn or viewed from the side. This change occurred due to the Coinage Act of 1965, passed in response to rising silver prices and widespread hoarding of silver coins, which threatened everyday commerce, and as a result the U.S. Mint eliminated mint marks entirely from coins dated 1965-1967 to discourage collectors from removing them from circulation, meaning all 1965 quarters have no mint mark, even though they were struck primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, with some production later occurring at Denver using Philadelphia dies. The mintage of the 1965 Washington quarter was extraordinarily high, over 1.8 billion coins, making it one of the most produced quarters in U.S. history, which explains why it remains extremely common today in circulated condition. In terms of value, a 1965 quarter in heavily worn or average circulated condition is generally worth face value 25 cents, while lightly circulated examples may sell for a small premium, typically 30 cents $1. And uncirculated coins in mint state MS-60 to Mississippi 63 can range from $2 to $5, with higher grade pieces like Mississippi 65 or Mississippi 66 sometimes bringing $15 $40 depending on luster, strike quality, and eye appeal, while truly exceptional Mississippi 67 examples certified by major grading services are scarce and can sell for hundreds of dollars at auction. Collectors also search for errors and varieties, which can significantly increase value, including off-center strikes, clipped planchettes, double die obverse or reverse errors, broad strikes, and lamination errors, and these error coins may range from $20 to several $100s depending on visibility and condition. Despite being non-silver, the 1965 quarter holds strong appeal for collectors because it represents the end of circulating silver coinage, the beginning of modern clad money, and a dramatic shift in U.S. monetary policy, making it an essential piece for anyone building a Washington quarter collection or studying the economic history of the United States. And even though most examples are not rare, the coin's historical importance, massive production scale, and role in everyday American life during the mid-1960s ensure that the 1965 Washington quarter remains one of the most recognized and discussed coins in U.S. numismatic history. Next up, the Washington Quarter 1973D is a classic example of a modern-era U.S. circulating coin that, while not rare in everyday condition, holds important historical, numismatic, and educational value for collectors because it represents the mature phase of the copper-nickel-clad Washington Quarter series that began in 1965 after the removal of silver from circulating coinage, and the D Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Denver Mint, which in 1973 played a major role in producing coins to meet the growing demand of a rapidly expanding U.S. economy. The obverse of the coin features the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, with the inscriptions, "Liberty," across the top, "In God We Trust," to the left of Washington's neck, the date 1973 at the bottom, and the small D mint mark positioned to the right of the ribbon tying Washington's hair, a placement that helps collectors easily identify the Denver issue, while the reverse displays the traditional heraldic eagle with wings spread wide, clutching arrows to symbolize national defense and strength, with olive branches beneath for peace, and surrounded by the inscriptions, "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and "Quarter Dollar," all executed in a bold yet balanced design that had become deeply familiar to Americans by the early 1970s. The 1973D Washington Quarter is composed of a clad structure, consisting of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin its silvery appearance while eliminating dependence on precious metals, and it has a standard weight of 5.67 grams, a diameter of 24.3 millimeters, and a reeded edge that reveals a visible copper stripe when the coin is worn or viewed from the side, which is one of the easiest ways to distinguish clad quarters from pre-1965 silver issues. In terms of production, the Denver Mint struck an extremely high number of these quarters, over 232 million coins, which means the 1973D quarter is very common in circulated condition, and millions of Americans used this coin daily for decades in vending machines, parking meters, public transport, and retail transactions, making it a true workhorse coin of its era. Because of this massive mintage, the value of a worn or average circulated 1973D quarter is generally face value 25 cents even when the coin shows heavy wear, scratches, dark toning, or edge damage, while lightly circulated examples may sell for 30 cents to $1, mostly to beginner collectors or for bulk coin sets. However, in uncirculated condition, especially coins with strong luster, sharp details, and minimal contact marks, values increase modestly, with Mint State MS-60 to Mississippi 63, examples typically worth $2 to $5, Mississippi 65 coins ranging from $8 to $20, and top-grade certified examples such as Mississippi 66 or Mississippi 67 becoming much scarcer and capable of selling for $50 to several $100s, especially when graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. Collectors also pay special attention to errors and varieties found on 1973D quarters, which can dramatically raise value, including off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchettes, die cracks, lamination errors, double die obverse or reverse errors, and weak strike issues caused by worn dies, and depending on visibility and condition, such error coins can be worth $20, $100, or even several $1,000s. Historically, the 1973D quarter reflects a period of economic transition in the United States, as the country was dealing with inflation pressures and would soon face the oil crisis of the mid-1970s, making durable clad coinage essential for commerce. And although this coin does not contain silver or gold, it remains an important piece for collectors completing date and mint. Washington quarter sets, for error collectors searching rolls, and for educators explaining the evolution of U.S. money, proving that even common coins like the 1973 D Washington quarter carry lasting significance, rich historical context, and the potential for hidden value when condition, rarity, or minting mistakes come into play. Please like and subscribe to my channel.